It is time for our week 4 power rankings. These were from week 3, and might I add, week 3 was so ridiculous. There are a lot of teams moving up, a lot of teams moving down, a lot of teams moving in, a lot of teams moving out. Let me know where you think your team should be ranked down in the comments. Let's hit a quick little reset on this. And we're going to start at number 1 per usual. I don't see it changing anytime soon. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I get it. But they didn't call the pass interference. There were 4 minutes left on the clock if the Falcons scored. You don't think Patrick Mahomes was going to go down there, absolutely torch that defense, and score a touchdown or get a field goal. Let's be real with ourselves right now. Now, I get the Chiefs are banged up. They're still out here. They're winning games. Banged up on the wide receiver core. Banged up in the running back room. Banged up on the defense. What is the Chiefs' motto been for the past few years? Next man up. Andy Reid goes out there and he tells the players, I don't need you to be that guy. I just need you to go out there and make a play. And that's what the Chiefs have fully bought in on. You can never count out Patrick Mahomes. That was a really great game against the Falcons. I think the Falcons are an absolutely amazing team. We'll see if they survive the cut in the top 10. At number 2, we have, and I think this is one of the only teams that can battle for the number 1 spot with the Chiefs. And it is crazy because I've hated on this team all year. I'm officially flipping the script. The Buffalo Bills. I thought this team was going to come in and be absolutely horrendous this year. They lost so much on defense. They lost so much on offense. And they are proving me wrong time and time again. I think Josh Allen has, 9 touchdowns on the year thus far? That's absolutely insane to me. Being that they lost wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 and Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, doesn't matter. They have an insane run game in Dalvin Cook. You got Josh Allen. The defense is absolutely balling. Can we get a round of applause for Damar Hamlin's first pick of his career? Almost a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, he was laying on the field getting CPR. Now he's out here starting safety for the Buffalo Bills, catching interceptions. You love a story like that. You love it. At number 3, we have, and this is a team I feel like, and I was told about it time and time again, I disrespected last week. They went and beat the 49ers. I said, I need to go see them beat the Texans to move them into the top 10. Not only did they beat the Texans, they put belt to you know what. Give me the Minnesota Vikings at number 3. They went from not even being on the list to a top 3 team in my power rankings. It's going crazy today. The connection with Sam Darnold and that wide receiver core is absolutely ridiculous, especially for a guy that they just brought in the offseason. He hasn't been playing with these guys for a whole season, and the connection with the team is insane. Wide receiver core, ridiculous. Sam Darnold on an MVP run currently. Running back game, crazy. The defense is stepping up and playing amazing ball. This team, and I did a video yesterday talking about positives and negatives for a bunch of these teams. Tell me a negative for the Vikings. You tell me a negative for the Vikings down in the comments because I need to know what it is. I need to know what it is. Give me the Minnesota Vikings at number 3. At number 4, I really don't like them being this high, but I'm going to give them the respect where it's due. Give me the Detroit Lions. Now, I think they cheated the Cardinals. I think the refs absolutely sold the Cardinals of a win, calling that pick 6 back when the clock wasn't even at the 2-minute warning. The ball was snapped before the clock hit the 2-minute warning. The refs this year have been absolutely abysmal. And I can say that because they can't find me for it. They can find the players for it, but they can't find me for it. Y'all need to do a better job. It's your, be better. Officiate better games. Make better calls. The calls this year, missed calls. Blowing the whistle before I'm not even going to harp on it. Lions at number 4. I think Jared Goff is absolutely a premier bus driver quarterback in the league. As long as he holds on to the ball, the offense is going to take care of him. The wide receiver core is great. Jamison Williams is a dog. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a dog. You have an insane run game, a 2-headed monster in the backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. Absolutely insane duo. The defense When you get them in zone, you can torch them, but when they're running man, they're sending blitzes, they're sending heaters. They're a scary, scary defense. Give me the Lions at number 4. At number 5, speaking of a team that got torched this week, the Houston Texans. Now, I'm not going to move them down a lot. I'm not going to hold the number 3 Vikings absolutely spanking them against them too hard, but they are going to move down a little bit. I think the lack of run game is hurting them. I think missing Joe Mixon really, really sucks for them. I think CJ Stroud just couldn't get the connections going with the wide receivers. I think the defense was getting absolutely obliterated. I mean, it's hard to have answers for potentially the best wide receiver we've ever seen in Justin Jefferson. And I mean, the run game, the Vikings are just insane. I'm not going to hold it too hard against the Texans. They're going to be just fine. The Texans are going to be okay. CJ Stroud is an absolute leader in that locker room. He's going to get it together. They're going to come back next week. Who do they play? The Jags might put up a 50 bomb. Might put up a 50 bomb against the very, very awful Jacksonville Jaguars. I can see it happening. At number 6, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. We're moving them up a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. I still need to see more out of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has to hold on to the ball for this team to be successful. If he keeps turning it over, I don't know what the future is going to hold for this team. All I know is Saquon Barkley is an absolute menace to society. He's a dog. I don't know if he can be stopped. I think he is the best running back in the league currently. If you have an argument for that, let me know down in the comments. I don't think you should. If you do, you're lying to yourself. Barkley is the best running back in the league. Banged up wide receiver core. Hopefully they can get one of them back next week. Devontae Smith hurt. Don't know the extent of his injury. A.J. Brown hurt. Don't know how long he's going to be out with a hamstring injury. But like I said, Saquon Barkley can carry that team anywhere. The defense stood up last week. They took the overtop away from the Saints. Saints got a little bit exposed. It's going to be interesting to see how teams mimic the Eagles going forward on how they played the Saints on defense. At number 7, speaking of a exposed offense, the New Orleans Saints. They had up until last week scored on every offensive drive that they had. That's absolutely ridiculous. The Eagles found a way. You take away over the top, you make them beat you in the middle of the field, you make them beat you on the run game. The crazy part is the connection with Chris Olave and Derek Carr is strengthening. I think they're going to start to beat teams in the middle of the field. They're not going to have the big boom plays. You have Alvin Kamara, who's going to open up the offense. I think it was just a little off week last week. I think the defense is still great. I think number 7 is a great spot for the Saints right now. Not taking them out of the top 10, obviously. I think they're going to do nothing but get better. And please, for fantasy purposes, keep feeding Olave. At number 8, I think one of our teams, our second team, other than the Chiefs, that didn't move. Being the Chiefs are at number 1, so they really can't do anything but go down, and they're not going to go down. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. Now I know they went out there and absolutely spanked the Dallas Fraud Boys, like I said they were going to. That run defense. You know what? We're not even going to drag the Fraud Boys in a top 10 list where they don't even belong. The Baltimore Ravens went out there and absolutely put on a clinic with the run game. I think they probably rushed for almost 300 yards. They only had to pass the ball 15 times. Now, towards the end of the game, they got a little lazy. They tried to rely on Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker just got to be falling off. Is that 2 missed field goals this year already? That's absolutely insane. It's sickening, and it's sad to see if this is the downfall of the best kicker we've ever seen. But the run game's there. 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson is there. They need to start to get the pass game going a little bit more. The defense kind of started to let up too many points at the end, but you know how the Fraud Boys are going to do it. They're going to go out there. They're going to get garbage time yards. They're going to get garbage time touchdowns. The Eagles didn't do enough to move up. They definitely didn't do bad enough to move down, though. So I think 8 is a great spot for them. At number 9, we have And this is a team that fell massively over the last few weeks. The San Francisco 49ers. Brock the bus driver Purdy can only do so much when he doesn't have his elite weapons. Debo gone, Kittle gone. Christian McCaffrey, I really don't think we see him the rest of this year. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be shut down for the rest of the year. I think the 49ers are playing with everybody and just haven't announced it yet. He's going out to Germany to see a specialist for his Achilles. Not a great sign. Not a great sign. The defense is, I mean, they're just banged up. I said at the beginning of the year, I think we're going to see the downfall of the San Francisco 49ers, and that is what we are currently witnessing. Last but not least, the number 10 spot was interesting. There were a few teams I could throw out there. I kind of rolled the dice with this one. I got in an argument with a Vikings fan on one of my Instagram posts. The Vikings should be top 10. Vikings haven't done nothing to where, not the Vikings, my bad. The Steelers should be top 10. The Steelers have done nothing to where I think they should be top 10. Now, the defense might get them top 10. I still don't like the offense. They can't get the run game going. I don't believe in Justin Fields. He's just out there, you know what I'm saying? Beep, beep. Justin Fields, we're coming through. We're driving that bus. Wide receiver core's pretty solid. I think they would be a better team with Russell Wilson, but that's the bias to me coming out, I guess. And when I say the bias to me coming out, at number 10, we have the Seattle Seahawks. Looking better offensively than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Looking on par defensively with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Argue with someone else, not with me. Gino's out there doing his thing. We have one of the most amazing wide receiver cores in the league. We have an insane running game. The defense is flying all over the field. The coaching staff knows what they're doing. Seattle Seahawks at number 10. Like I said, argue with someone else, not with me. So let's rerun through the list real quick. At number 1, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, 2 Bills, 3 Vikings, 4 Lions, 5 Texans, 6 Eagles, 7 Saints, 8 Ravens, 9 49ers, and to round out the top 10, my Seattle Seahawks. Let me know if your team made the cut. Let me know where you think your team should be ranked. Let me know who you think should move up, who you think should move down, who should move in, and who should move out. Down in the comments. Don't forget, like and follow.